All right, it is a rainy afternoon. Yet, I believe our spirits are still high. At least I hope that our spirits are still high, taking us into the very start of the week. It's a Monday, and we are welcoming you to Hard Facts edition for today, the 28th day in the month of July, 2025. My name is Somi, that's Somi, short for Apena Somi. And we have
SSO.
no, sir. Somi.
Oh, you said SS.
I said that's Somi.
Oh.
Probably the way, I just sort of blended both in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your name though?
Well, you're listening to the voice of Radio's finest, Gabriel Spector. And what a wet Monday it has been, Somi.
I literally, a friend of mine was putting up a post and complaining about, oh God, today's the one day that, it pained her the most that she didn't have a vehicle. I say, even me that has a vehicle, I still got beat by the rain. Let's just also.
Did you get beat by the rain?
Yes, I did.
Why is that?
I had to go somewhere and I didn't go my umbrella.
Umbrella.
So between the
That's not getting beat by the rain.
Ah,
Rain just touched you.
no, sir.
It's different.
No, sir. It was coming down cats, dogs, lions, tigers, and bears.
And
So
then
I was beat.
By
However, for a
few
short period of
seconds.
time.
Just few seconds. I've rain beat you before, Somi.
Yes.
Like beat.
Look at you. Earlier on this year, I was saying, let the rains come so I can go and get beat by the rain. And so when the rains came, I went under it, and it was such a jolly good time. So
Why?
it's not today.
You were looking forward to the rain coming. Why?
Absolutely.
When was this?
Earlier on this year, just before the rain started, I know that I would take this rain over the heat. So I'm grateful for it.
You're one of those
Yes,
people.
I am.
Okay.
I am.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing. I like some of the fruits that come out during the rainy season. I love corn. I've been chewing a lot of it, frankly speaking. But I don't know. It has a way it rubs up for me. I'm talking about the rainy season. I feel like it just makes everywhere muddy, I don't know.
I will take that mud
And
and mire and not drying clothes for 3 days over the heat. Any day, anytime.
Nah.
That's all I'm saying.
nah.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like there's anything I can do to hold the rain or something, but I think I'll take the dry season. I'll take Hamilton, actually.
Well, congratulations to you. It's my season. Enjoy.
It will soon end. It will soon end. It's
Of
just a
course,
matter of
all
time.
things come to an end.
It's just a matter of time.
All things do. But indeed, it is good to be here this afternoon. How are you in whatever part of the FCT or whatever part of the world that you're listening and welcoming you all the same? We're starting off with the big three as usual, bringing you some of the biggest stories in the news, and after which we'll move into our major conversation segment, just like we said. And then we would also have Patriots Corner, and then take on a few other things just before we wrap up the show by 7 p.m. So please stay with us as we will do our best to keep you, I'm going to say keep you entertained, but no, we're to keep the conversations going. Welcome once again.
Yeah, well, it's entertainment. Because trust me, some of the headlines, some of the stories are downright entertaining.
In a roundabout kind of way, because it just makes you wonder why, and then you have no choice but to laugh because you don't want to get angry and get your blood pressure up.
Yeah.
But
I have stopped asking why, because it now looks like a waste of time because you never really get the answer to that question why. So I have stopped. But then what interests me is the fact that you just have all manner of emotions when you interact with these conversations. Sometimes it's laughter, like you said. You just laugh at the sheer,
that kind of laughter,
absurdity.
that when you do something wrong and your mother goes that kind, not the other kind. And we'll start off with this story because it does make you want to do that as well. Looking at a report about the Ajaokuta steel and how it has failed despite many efforts at revival. The refineries as well. We're looking at a total of 6.5 trillion naira spent in 10 years. And you just go, yeah. Apparently, fresh controversy may be brewing over the future of Nigeria's critical assets like the refineries and steel plants, as new developments suggest that the NNPCL may face stiff investors' resistance and mounting financial and political fallout if proposals to sell the assets go ahead without value that can offset the existing debt profile. This comes as contractors handling the refineries were suspended amidst rising tensions between NNPC, anti-graft authorities, and the government. Stakeholders told news reporters that Nigeria's refineries may only attract scrap value if put up for sale. This is the laughter part. 6.5. We have the breakdown as a matter of fact. So we're calling it 6.5 trillion in 10 years. We're going to look at specific contracts, and what amounts have been allocated at different points in time, at least from the period that the report looked into. And only to hear that with all of this, the refineries will likely attract scrap value is indeed heartbreaking. Apparently, managing the debt will likely require tough restructuring talks with lenders, possible government intervention, or private sector partnerships. And you think what private sector partnerships will want to look into this without considering a major cost incurement that is going to accrue to them. Even with the divestment, they said, proceeds may fall well short of covering outstanding obligations, posing a serious threat to the country's fiscal stability and NNPC's reputation amidst a litigation crisis that may stall the process. And also, nearly 50 years after it was conceived as a symbol of Nigeria's industrial ambition, the Ajaokuta Steel Complex remains inactive, despite trillions of naira in public funds and producing no steel. For the refinery, apparently, this report says, while the actual amount spent, while the actual amounts spent on the refinery's turnaround maintenance remain contentious, with many stakeholders throwing around figures that may not be verifiable. Media reports suggest that about $25 billion has been spent, while Dangote recently said $18 billion was spent. When you look at public data, the FEC, Federal Executive Council's, I think recent approval was of $2.9 billion for the current rehabilitation of the refineries. So all of these monies gone down the drain. I think between 2016 and 2024, federal government spent 1.4 trillion on the facility through salary settlements and other revival efforts. And yet, nothing. For the 1.4 trillion, that's for the Ajaokuta Steel Mill. So, Gabriel.
Yeah.
I don't know now whether the one I did was carry the weight. That kind of laughter that you're cringing on the inside. But at some point, we need to get to the bottom of this. Is this how we are going to continue when it comes to conversations, especially around the refineries, the steel mills? That one it's been inactive for so long. I don't even know if we can begin to have a conversation around that. But what are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts are exactly that of many Nigerians. Bewilderment, largely for most parts, and just utter confusion, really. Confusion as to these institutions, if I can call them that, these entities. Why is it so difficult for them to run? Because the whole conversation around selling in the first place, or of setting these, these structures, edifices, is around the fact that they've not been functional. Let's not kid ourselves. At some point, there were talks about the refineries that were trying to do this, were trying to do that, but we all know that these refineries, the Ajaokuta Steel Company Limited, they've not been functional, if at all, not optimally, not to the point, it's not commensurate to the amount of money that has been sunk in. So the first question on the minds of everybody is, why are they not working? How can it be difficult to make these places work? How can it be difficult? What does it take? Other countries that have refineries older than ours, other countries that have steel companies Private sectors that run steel companies, why are theirs working and we can make ours work? I know that we can have the conversation around the political instability, the fact that, we've had different, this thing stems from our political parties. And I'm going to start from there, frankly speaking, because when we look at our political parties and the fact that in the same political party, you can have two people emerge as president from the same political party and have completely different ideologies.
Two people emerge as president?
No, as in from the same political party, different administrations. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I mean, we have a current example with the current political party that is in power. We have from the previous one too. And you have two completely different ideologies. So we don't get to see that consistency or continuation in terms of policy. Even when they come to power, the same thing the other one did. This one will do it, but rebrand it. A whole new name entirely.
Some of them will tell you that is continuity, just carrying a different name and face. I disagree with that. As long as they're doing the same thing, but the rebranding doesn't matter. It's continuity.
I wish if I would take that explanation, even though that is laughable, I would take that, because it's laughable because we're not talking about one political party to another political party. We're talking about two different presidents from the same political party. And I'll take that explanation if, in the first place, whatever this other new guy is doing is not ultra expensive, because now they churn out a whole new policy entirely, new branding, new ideas. So it's like you tear down what the other guy did completely to the ground. That one, the project did not get halfway, or it didn't even do maybe 60% or 50-something percent completion rate. Now, back to what the conversation we're having, because you look at that Ajaokuta Steel Company, for example, and you see from 1958 to about 1980 something that it was incorporated and thereabout, and then you just discover that president in, president out. Okay, we had different interventions or interruption in our democratic system. We had the military come in and all whatnot. But the point of the fact is this: we have been sinking money into something we are not interested in using. Because now the conversation here is, okay, if we said there's a debt profile because we have been keeping things that we're not using, we have been maintaining items that, it's just like you buy a car. You get a car. You don't have any intention to drive the car. Let's say you get the car to move your children from school to the house, to do market runs. Now you buy the car, you park it in the house. You now go and rent a cab to do the market runs with. You have a car in the house. That car, sometimes you go and start it in the morning. It's not starting. Maybe the fuel pump is already damaged. You call mechanic to come and change the fuel pump. You spend money. Perhaps you even borrow money to fix that fuel pump. After fixing it, you leave it in the house. You're not going to get a green cab to go and pick the children. It doesn't make sense. And, like you said, this is one of the cases that you just look at it and you're like, what exactly is going on? So it's just the way many Nigerians are really.
I mean, I hear what you say about, constant sinking of funds into it. Will it be fair to say we're sinking when we have no intention of using it? I think it's a question of funds being sunken, but whoever it is, I think as a people we are lacking the will to follow through when these monies are sunken, to say, okay, so and so amount was paid. What has happened to it? Look at what's happening with the refineries, for example. I think as of 2 weeks ago, despite several calls by the Senate committee, for NNPC to come and answer certain questions, we heard what happened when some of the officials went there. But I think as of 2 weeks ago, it was for the GEMD, I think, yes, of NNPC to go there. And, as of 2 weeks ago, the report there was that he had still insisted on not showing up. So when these monies go in, right, and then things happen and Nigerians are not seeing it, if the government is not seeing it, is it that they are so unconcerned as to what is happening that they will continue to allow for these things to just run amok and nobody's caring? Because even when they do set up probes, how do we follow through to ensure that this money that was spent in has been probed and people have accounted for it and they've been dealt with if there was any case of misappropriation or malfeasance or what have you? Because even looking at Ajaokuta Steel Mill, reports have it that it has been the subject of numerous probes and investigations over the years because there has been massive amounts pumped into it. But the company remains largely inoperative. So, where is the money that they are pumping in going into? How can we be so lax, to just
That
allow
money
the
has been
money to
spent
go
and nobody.
and nothing, and we continue like that, and then they come and tell us, it's like it's going to go for scrap. So it really is heartbreaking. Yes, I hear what you said also. One administration comes in, they start something, maybe they even start to probe. Let's say they even start to probe, assuming they do. I think the recent probes and calls for investigation was last year in 2024 for the Jakarta steel mill, when the Senate constituted a 10-member ad hoc committee to investigate reasons behind the moribund steel mill. I think as at then, there was a company that had been contracted to do it. There was an alleged payment of $496 million to a company in September 2022 as settlement for contractual disputes. And so there was a settlement. 2 years on, they are probing it. This is 1 year after. Where are we with all of this? I just don't think that there is enough will to follow through. For whatever reason, maybe those are the reasons we need to start investigating, because we can't continue like this.
If you're going to start the investigation for the refineries and Ajaokuta Steel Company, it's
all over.
It's going to stretch back
all over again, because there have been probes and investigations in times past.
That did not lead to anywhere. That didn't go far.
So right now, maybe the direction should not, because we see the facts and figures are usually there about who was paid what.
Mm-hmm.
Why it dies down is what we don't have information on, and that's where we need to look into. Not starting another probe and investigation all over again. This vicious circle.
I am not particular about probe and investigation. I'll tell you exactly why. There is no way under any administration that refineries and Ajaokuta Steel Company would not work. That the number one man is not aware.
But he's aware that it's not working.
So that's where the probe should start from.
I'm sorry, who should probe who now?
Not the one.
You said the number one man is aware. So what I'm saying is, should he call that a probe be instituted?
I'm not talking about the current president.
I know, I hear you.
I'm talking about previous presidents.
Oh, I see what you mean.
There's no way somebody spent 8 years in power.
Yeah.
And then the refineries did not work.
And you say he's not aware?
He won't be aware.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, the Big Three continues.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this. This is not
Interested in making what
Still the big three. Let's take a look at the second story here, Gabriel.
Yes. So there's broke as Rufai for 30 years over. So the Social Democratic Party has expelled Nasir El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State, declaring him ineligible to associate with the party in any capacity for the next 30 years. In a statement issued in Abuja by Araba Ayenigba, SDP's National Publicity Secretary, the party said El-Rufai never formally registered as a member at the ward level as required by the party's constitution. Ayenigba said despite this, the former governor had publicly claimed membership on social media and forged documents to back his assertions. The party accused El-Rufai of manipulating internal party processes, spreading misinformation, and attempting to destabilize the party through unconstitutional and deceptive political maneuvers. The party also alleged that he aligned himself with the African Democratic Congress and sought to drag the SDP into an unauthorized political coalition. Having confirmed that he publicly declared for the ADC and continue, I'm quoting now the statement in quote. Having confirmed that he publicly declared for the ADC and continued to act contrary to SDP principles, the party has no option but to disassociate and excommunicate him. The SDP asked the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and other relevant bodies not to recognize El-Rufai as its member. The SDP said the former Kaduna governor is not authorized to represent or speak for the party. Consequently, El-Rufai has been banished and banned from applying to the membership, identifying with the name, insignia, logo, or participating in any affairs of the SDP for a period of 30 years, effective immediately. In line with the constitution of the SDP, the ideology, manifesto, principles, and practices thereof, and consonance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Electoral Act, pertaining to the exclusive right of a political party to determine its membership, the National Working Committee deliberated on the controversial membership status of Nasir Ahmad El-Rufai from Kaduna State, who has in recent months been paraded himself as a member of the SDP, despite the assertion of the Kaduna State executives that he has not joined the SDP, but has instead been promoting the activities of other political party in the state. End of quote. Why are you laughing?
I mean, El-Rufai first mentioned that he was quitting APC as far back as March of this year, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, March of this year. March 10th, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
It's taken, June, July, 2 months for them to come out and expel him. I would expect that political parties in Nigeria are a bit more proactive when it comes to these kinds of things. If you really, really feel, I mean, he's been doing this, and they used the word parading himself. Were there any initial oppositions to him joining as far back as March till now? If they were, I didn't hear of it. It's unlike what we saw with the ADC, Dumebi Kachuku, when some of the big wigs decided to become affiliated and become members of the ADC, where he came out from the very beginning, denouncing them, saying, "Oh no, this is that." I don't know if we saw that, if anybody did hear of this arm of the party reacting to this. But that's not to say that they're not within their rights to do what they're doing. I'm just wondering why it took this long. I feel like there needs to be more proactiveness on the part of parties when it comes to their members and membership and how people become members of their party. I'm still waiting to say I'm really, really keen on the response from Malam Nasser El Rufai on this one, because if he's officially left the APC and they are now denouncing him, they're probably saying, oh, if you're associating with the ADC, then why not just go and pitch your tent 100%.
A full member.
Which they are well within their rights to do, compared to what you see with other parties where, the likes of PDP, where the party members are literally unofficial card-carrying members of other parties and running the agendas of other parties while still remaining in the party. I just wish for a little more proactiveness when it comes to parties, when it comes to these things, because it just seems like 2 months after, What caused the delay? What caused the delay? That's what I have to say about that.
The former governor of Kaduna State is 65 years of age. You add 30 to that, he would be 95 by the time this is a ban or embargo, as it were. By the time it becomes ineffective, that is if should that time elapse. But a party that's puts a ban on someone from being a member can lift it tomorrow.
From associating. Don't identify, don't do anything. They were very, very clear.
The party did that today. The same party can come tomorrow and say we've lifted the ban.
But that would be such a shame now, wouldn't it?
Oh, well.
After making such a bold, boldable pronouncement, if you will. However late, but better late than never.
I think shame and politics in Nigeria, I don't think they usually exist in the same sentence. Because many times the kind of things that we get to see. Somi, you talked about proactiveness. I don't think it's a case of proactiveness. I think it's a case of the party and its leadership falling out with the former governor of Kaduna State. Because like you said, he did not just announce that he was leaving the APC. He did not just announce. Also, he didn't just announce his participation in the coalition with ADC. That's been how many weeks now? Over 2 weeks, or 2-3 weeks.
But about the same day he denounced APC. He mentioned, and even advised that.
Now I'm talking about the coalition.
Yes,
the announcement
ADC.
of the coalition.
ADC.
Was it in March?
The same day he denounced APC. It's here now. He says he drew the battle line with APC and has been vociferous in his criticisms of the ruling party and some of his officials, and then also went ahead to talk about, what people need to do and where they need to align themselves with. Or am I reading a different report?
No.
There we go.
Yeah.
So on the 10th of March, he posted on his verified Facebook page that he was leaving the political platform he helped form and joining the SDP. This was the announcement on the 10th of March.
And so what I'm saying is that's the day he announced he was joining the SDP. I'm talking about when the coalition, the day they all gathered together and came out. That was a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
All right. So I was just saying that it's crystal clear that something has happened. Something happened between the leadership of the party and the former governor of Kaduna State. And so there was a falling out. When we see things like this, usually, because there's no proactiveness anywhere, how many political parties ask big names, big wigs like the former governor of Kaduna State to pick up a form? We see many times before, it's not the same Nigeria that will see a governor, you run on a political party, you win election, or maybe a Senate member, or maybe the Green Chambers, a House of Reps, win the seats, get into the seat, and then defect to another political party. So we don't. I'll be shocked to hear that he actually got a membership card. He went to a ward and bought a card to become a member of the party. I don't think that is what you tell an El-Rufai.
Well, it shouldn't matter who you are, big or no big. The process is the process. Every party should adopt the process. Every intending member of the party should adopt the process. It really doesn't matter who you are. And that's what I'm saying when it comes to parties and their membership processes. If really and truly it's a case of, oh, you're a big boy, or just come and become, then it really is a shame. It does speak to how serious they are when it comes to their processes, and all these things will trickle down. It goes beyond the processes of even party membership and adoption. Whether the person left from a different party or not and came to you, it shows, because you will see that lackadaisical attitude, and that attitude of, this person is an oga, so let's not treat him like this. You will see it happen at every stage where the party is supposed to play their role to produce a possible leader for the country. So is what I'm saying when I say I wish they were more proactive is, if really and truly he did not go through the processes to become a member, because they are here accusing him of fraudulent behavior. That's what they are doing here. Did they just discover that behavior that they are calling fraudulent? Did they just discover it? I mean, you're right when you said it's possible that there was a falling out. But at this point, let's have a bit of shame. Whether as individuals or political, let's have a bit of shame. You don't try and mess up the process in the beginning, and then halfway down the line doesn't seem to be working for you, and then you now start to throw a tantrum. That's not saying that that's what they're doing here. Like I said, better late than never, but they need to be more proactive when it comes to these things. If somebody is becoming a member of your party and they have not followed due process, why do you allow it?
Did they ask him to follow due process?
It doesn't. That's what I'm saying.
What if they did not ask him to follow due process?
My brother, the point is, there is something that needs fixing. Can we fix it from the beginning? Let it not be that when they fought now and then it's looking at that's what this is. We don't have that information verified, but let's even say that is what this is. Doesn't that mean that our parties need to do better?
That is exactly the point. The point, Somi, is this, that our parties from top, even the ones that perhaps, many of the times, right, because I've attended a number of political party meetings, different ones. I'm apolitical, but I've attended a number of, meetings here and there, stumbled into I'm not even talking about ward meetings, talking about ESCO meetings here in Abuja, in Lagos. And I can tell you, even for sometimes, the kind of waivers that they want they would give a local government chairman who they want in the party is because in Nigeria, parties are not run based on ideologies. They are run based on interest, based on numbers, typically. So in local government, a local government chairman, the amount of waiver he'll be given just to lure him into the political party for whatever reason, to win the next election, whatnot, you'll be amazed. We're talking about a former governor here. So when they are coming, that's why I said, for me, I believe that it's a fallout between the former governor of Kaduna State and the political party. Clearly, perhaps he didn't carry them along when the whole coalition conversation was going to begin, because they said here that he dragged them into a coalition they're not ready to be a part of. So the party system in Nigeria is faulty, the way they are run, and that is why you can have politicians jump from A to B. One politician, we all know who, from A to B, back to A, back to B, back and forth like that. These two political, at least in other countries, we see different sides holding on to strong ideologies and beliefs. Sometimes we even call them far right, far left, because we can tell exactly where they stand on serious critical issues that concern the country. But here we don't. Do we really have parties that run on ideologies, clear, visible, discernible ideologies?
So we agree that something does need fixing.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Let's take this last story so we can open up the phone lines and have you weigh in on the conversation this afternoon. This one here, the 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has come out to accuse President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of overfeeding Nigerians with wrong statistics to hide the country's economic woes. He put the post up on his X handle today, recalling how the president during his presidential campaign in 2022 mocked him for his frequent references to statistics on developmental issues, and then went ahead to claim that the president has resorted to use of wrong statistics to defend his administration, citing the recent rebasing of Nigeria's GDP. He said, and I quote, President Tinubu is now overfeeding Nigerians with wrong statistics from unemployment figures, wrong inflation figures, and now GDP rebasing, all to put a positive spin on our deteriorating economic and household conditions. Government is not rocket science, he says. It's not a gamble. Like I've always reiterated, it requires sincerity of purpose, character, competence, capacity, and compassion. Now, what does the data actually say about what Peter Obi is claiming? According to data obtained by Premium Times, Nigeria faces significant hunger challenges according to the 2024 Global Hunger Index. The country is ranked 110th out of 127 countries on the index. With a score of 28.8, the level of hunger in Nigeria is considered serious in the index. The former presidential candidate of the Labour Party has had a lot to say about this current administration. And you really have to rely on the data and the statistics and all of that. But let's bring it a little bit closer to home. According to the NBS, last week, they said Nigeria's GDP stood at 372.8 trillion in 2024 after the base year for calculating the figure was shifted to 2019. And this figure represents $243 billion based on the exchange rate of 1,530 naira to the dollar. So there are claims and there are statistics. What say you on what the claims are? And how do we match them up with the statistics to say, really and truly, is there any such overfeeding of Nigerians going on? You want to?
Did you mention the because when we're talking about stats, we're talking about figures, then there's no room for speculation. We have to work with the stats. What did he say that the because I can look at I'm seeing the post on X right now. Mm-hmm. He didn't itemize.
No, he did not.
Yes. So if we're going to have the conversation, we'd have to look at what overfeeding stats did the presidency do. What is the correct, what did he fact check as to be the correct figure? Because, I mean, if we're going to dwell on it, right, at the end of the day, he's an opposition politician as it stands right now. And there's room for opposition. There's room to counter what the government is doing, to check, verify,
validate.
So he's well within his right to claim. The word there is claim. Claim that the presidency or the president is overfeeding Nigerians with the wrong data or stat.
Well, he did mention the rebasing of Nigeria's GDP. That was the major thing that he spoke to that made him use these figures and say, oh, this is wrong statistics.
So what is the right statistic? Did he drop it?
He just cited the rebasing of the GDP.
Well, so the thing is, here we have an incomplete statement. Because if I'm going to... The point here is this, so we have to be very careful. We have to be very careful. If he said, this is wrong, as opposed to what?
Well, what would rebasing of GDP present? What would it mean statistically? If the rebasing of the GDP served a purpose, what purpose did it serve, and why would Peter Obi be coming out to say that the rebasing of the GDP was the reason why he was saying the president is putting out wrong statistics? Those are the questions. How about we open up the phone lines and then we get your thoughts in it while we come back to some of these things? It's 07009510000 or 0809 08059747869. On WhatsApp, it's 0809-993-0137. We have three big stories this afternoon. What are your thoughts on them? Oh dear. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
I greet you. I greet you. I greet you in the studio. Okay, for your name.
Welcome. It's Gabriel Spector here.
Issue of L5 and
Go
SDP.
ahead. Yes, loud and clear, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, L5 and SDP. You see, the issue is that I don't know whether they are taking him to court or not, because I know that I do think that this court is working. L5 is supposed to be in jail. See, how can you claim to be a member of party when you are not? You see? That's the impersonator and the assault of the party. So, if the Nigeria is working, everybody's supposed to be in jail. You see, that's the issue. Those are trying to form a coalition to kick out the FPC when you have an action. That's why I said the coalition will not stand. Where a party does not have love and sincerity, and on the other side, how can they move forward? You want to kick out Tinubu, who is in power already. How can you do it without sincerity? Let me listen to the Nigerians. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Gabriel Spector.
Good afternoon.
Somi
Yes, sir.
Nagasheki.
Welcome, sir.
My name is Salasi. You guys have been talking about how many trillions spent on this Ajakuta or so on and so forth. It has become a conduit pie. They always take advantage of all this in order to loot our commonwealth. Gabriel was in kind of say, if he say the president is not aware, yes. When there was killing in Benue, they say go. The IG didn't go, and the president wasn't aware. And the IG remained till he retired. Him as the Minister of Petroleum, he has been there for the past 8 years, and he couldn't refine a single liter of petroleum. And we are talking of even selling of our refineries. They may not be aware of, but it has become a conduit pipe to all these politicians and the people in power in order to loot our commonwealth. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Okay, let's move it on. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
My name is Adela Victor from Vita Lagi.
Go ahead, sir. Good to have you here.
When I see politicians participate themselves politically, I feel happy because it's good for them. When you consider his tenure as the governor of a Kaduna state, you see that his administration was characterized with political crudity and barbarity. And therefore, the past is pumping Rufai. From APC, it's been politically sidelined. He jumped into SDP and is being persuaded now. In ABC, he also received disgrace. I want a supporter to advise him to honorably retire from politics. Let him maybe go into lecturing or go into private business or go into foundations and let the legacy instead of disgracing himself. You see, they will continue to prosecute themselves, these politicians, because they have been shot like that massive. So our prayers have been answered. The fight of these politicians are just beginning. Many of them are going to fight themselves to the end because these people cannot be trusted, and those who are gathering in the APC, they are going to fight finish. That party is going to scatter.
What party? What party? Excuse me, what party?
APC. Those gathering in the APC, they are going to scatter at the end of the day because of power. Because of power, Atiku is going to control that party and going to get the ticket. And at the end of the day, nothing for them. So those who have jumped in, they jumped out. I want to advise Peter Obi before he says he should not identify with this group of bureaucrats and protocrats who call themselves political messiah. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Somi and Gabriel.
Welcome.
Yes, I want to talk on Rufai and SDP. Actually, I saw it differently. the truth is that political party and defection from one political party to the other did not start this 2025. It's not started in this 2025. But it's just that the president and the APC have decided to block every other party because they want to just be the only party that will conduct election and be in the ballot. So any opposition won't enter any party. They will buy in allegedly. They will buy in the executive of those party executives and tell them either to expel or not to accept. So in as much as personally I may not like El-Rufai antecedent based on his stand in so many other national issues, but we should remove sense from the reality. Any party these guys goes into, you will hear one or two things that happen to that person. So what happens before now? People enter into political party and there are no issues. But now, any party they go, it's either the executive will say you did not register well, or they will tell you that they will just come up with flimsy excuses.
Now, are you sure it's not because they're actually not doing the right thing? Because how many people will be crying foul at the same time?
So just tell me one person that have defected to any party that those parties either. So there are no people that will say either they did not accept him or one thing or the other. They will create crisis in that very. So everybody must not just be wrong or you are the only one that is right. So for me, I think that the APC and the presidency should allow people to express their political freedom. That was why some of them to power. Anywhere they go to, they will block them.
All right, thank you so much.
I blame El-Rufai for. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So sorry, sir. I had to cut you short. We're about to go on a commercial break. When we come back, it's going to be the 4 o'clock news bulletin, and then we'll come back and continue with your contributions to the conversation. It's Hard Facts. We'll be right back.
This is Nigeria Info.